Hey, welcome back. I'm still here. One of the things that the guys here in the office always want me to talk about is, the immense amount of time that we have put into power supply design. And power supply design it's something that you don't really want to talk about. It's actually, in a way, it's quite boring. But in our case, it's actually one of the reasons why the 7603 is kind of a monster in terms of its ability to drive signal. Traditionally, all the analog products I was growing up in either had a traditional looking transformer, which kind of looked like this big old beast back here, or a toroid. Toroid's very commonly used, in terms of modern analog designs. You can open up a lot of them, you'll find a toroid. One of the challenges that you have with a toroid is that you either have to get very clever with the toroid design so that it'll work, in 115 volt, like say for the US or Canada, or 230 volt for Europe, and then have to deal with the fact that if you don't regulate the secondaries, you don't regulate the DC rails, you're going to have problems, depending on how your circuit design is when you go to places like Australia or the UK or Scotland, where you can find 250 volts in the wall. The trick today, obviously, is implementing a switch mode power supply, which is a completely different type of technology. But when we confronted the challenge, it gets complicated, because now it's not just one voltage that you're looking for. In our case, we're looking for 5 different voltages. And in the main principal voltages, which we use is plus minus 16 volts, we wanted an awful lot of amperage, so current. So we use a plus minus 16 volt supply, not only for our 500 series products, but also for our rack units, our rack mounted products, with a 3 amp capability and a 5 amp peak capability. So if you start thinking about it, you have 32 volts of total swing times 3 amps. You have a 90 watt supply to give you line level out, which is an immense amount of headroom. We also have secondary voltages, 48 volts, of course, for phantom power. We also have other plus minus 12 volts for whatever else that we want to use. Maybe we want to add some op amps or something like that. And we have 5 volt rail as well, which we can use in the future for something else.